Time now for the morning rush. We do begin with breaking news. Albuquerque police now investigating a homicide in northeast Albuquerque. Sarah Yingling is live with the very latest on this. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Crystal. This is at the Chateau Apartments along Osuna near San Mateo. Police, you can see, have this area totally surrounded at this apartment complex. Again, police tell us that this was actually in response to a domestic dispute. They say when they arrived, they found one man dead. And police tell us that this is a homicide call out. There's no word on if police have a suspect at this time. Right now, this is not affecting any traffic on Osuna, but if you are taking this direction, you will need to slow down and use caution. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Sarah. This morning, the county is being ordered to pay more than $1 million to settle a deadly deputy-involved shooting. In 2017, Deputy Joshua Mora killed Isaac Padilla and Martin Jim after a stolen car chase came to an end off of Coors. Now, both men were unarmed. The sheriff called the shooting justified. An attorney for one of the men says says Mora should have never been on the force in the first place, and he was pushed through the academy by, in part, his father, the undersheriff. Kristen.
Rain and snow chances over northern, western, and central New Mexico today. They're pretty isolated in coverage, and intensity will be light through the day, but this is all we have. Drier conditions expected out east. Crystal?
A well-known DWI lawyer accused of driving drunk is expected in court next week for a pretrial conference. According to a criminal complaint, an officer at the Whole Foods in Carlisle saw David Cerna getting into his Mini Cooper, realized Cerna was too intoxicated, then called an Uber. However, when Cerna returned, police arrested him. Police say he blew a .12.
Luna County Sheriff's deputies are asking for your help finding a missing teen. Deputies say 16-year-old April Elizondo was last seen on Friday in a Deming neighborhood. Deputies also believe that she could be traveling to El Paso, Texas or Juarez, Mexico. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Luna County Sheriff's Office.
Motion hearings scheduled today in the case of two parents accused of forcing their 7-year-old daughter into prostitution. The court appearance is set for this afternoon. Police arrested Terry Sanchez and James Stewart in May of last year. They say they found signs of abuse and evidence that Stewart had the girl performing sex acts in exchange for drugs.
In about 2 hours from now, the man who opened fire outside an elementary school is scheduled to be sentenced. Vincent Lovato was convicted of shooting at or from a motor vehicle and criminal damage to property. Now, Lovato's attorney tried to have the damage to property conviction dismissed, claiming the two charges were not meant to be used together. Lovato faces 4 years if both charges stand.
Two state police officers recovering this morning after a car crash. The suspect could face more charges. Police say two state police officers were hit by a vehicle during a crash investigation. The driver who allegedly struck them, 7-year-old Suzanne Ware of Cloudcroft, was cited for careless driving. Both officers are doing okay this morning.
An APD canine dog is set to retire next year from the department, and now the department is hoping to add more dogs to their ranks. Chef has been with APD for 6 years, and officers say his keen sense of smell has helped them track down some high-profile criminals. That includes Devon Lyman, the ex-con police say shot and killed Officer Daniel Webster. There are currently 6 dogs on the team.
We'll let you know if a bill passes the Senate Education Committee today that would force schools to create policies to stop bullying. Senate Bill 228 would require school boards across the state to come up with a plan to address and to investigate cyberbullying. It also requires a plan for students to report bullying and lays out consequences.
The bills in House committee that address paid family medical leave are expected to be taken up today. Under these bills, if a family member of yours gets sick and you leave work to be with them at the hospital, if you're gone from work for more than 5 days, you can file Paid Family Medical Leave Act, and that continue to be paid while you're not working.
Live from D.C., where President Trump is likely putting the final touches on his State of the Union address tomorrow. Something he'll likely touch on, his proposed border wall. The president still says he's not ruling out another shutdown if he does not get funding for the wall. The president is also weighing declaring a national emergency to get the wall funded.
We are waiting this morning on reaction from New Mexico officials. This after the Pentagon announcing that it's sending more than 3,700 troops to the border with Mexico, working with officials to put up another 150 miles of wire. The additions now bring the total number of active duty troops on the border to just over 4,000. On to news new at 6. A new report on the financial health of major cities gives Albuquerque a barely passing grade. Truth in Accounting released the report giving Albuquerque a D rating. The report says the grade is based on retirement obligations that have not been paid over many years. It says every taxpayer would have to pay $5,200 to pay the city's bills.
No city earned an A. Kristen.
Today's Metro Threat Index at a 3, looking at some cool temperatures to start in the 30s, warming to the upper 50s to low 60s this afternoon. Hoping for an isolated shower, nothing heavy, nothing widespread, mostly to partly sunny sky through the day. David?
The New England Patriots are heading back to Foxborough with fans celebrating their latest victory. You can see some of that celebration taking place right there last night. They can now look forward to several post-win celebrations. The Patriots are now one of the most winning teams in Super Bowl history. They have played in the Super Bowl 9 times, walking away with the Lombardi Trophy 6 times. The Patriots beat the LA Rams 13-3.
All right, this morning it's likely many of you will be talking about Super Bowl commercials. Here's some insight to pass on to your friends. One of them included New Mexico's Brian Urlacher. The special halftime commercial aired to celebrate the kickoff of the NFL's 100th season. Players dive over tables and battle for a golden football. Urlacher, a former Chicago Bear, and Lobo is one of the players seen sparring it out for the ball.
Another pro with New Mexico ties is preparing for next season after falling short on Super Bowl Sunday. LA Rams special teams coordinator John Fossil got his start as the head coach at Highlands University back in 2003 and 2004. He says the university will always hold a special place in his heart. Kristen.
Time now for a check on your morning commute. Nothing major out there when it comes to accidents or slowdowns, and looking outside of the Big Eye, everything seems to be moving at a posted speed.
Well, after the big game, the commercials are always water cooler conversation. Early buzz points to the Bud Light HBO Game of Thrones crossover as the clear winner. Now, that one started as Dilly Dilly commercial, but became a preview for the show's new season. Other winners were the Amazon Gone Awry ad and Stella Artois ad featuring Carrie Bradshaw and the Dude. Now, on the losing side, there was the Olay Killer Skin ad and the Burger King Andy Warhol ad.
We're taking you back 55 years ago on this day in 1964. We had a blizzard really impact the state of New Mexico, dropped 15 to 18 inches out there in Santa Rosa, 11 inches in Tucumcari. Major accidents from Albuquerque along I-40 towards the state line resulted in 3 fatalities. Time now for a check on your 5 facts.
We start here with number 5. It's a big one. Take a look at the video here. Many in New Mexico will still be talking about the commercials this morning. One of them starring New Mexico's very own Brian Urlacher. The special halftime commercial celebrating the kickoff of the NFL's 100th season. Urlacher has been retired for 6 years, but still remains an NFL favorite. In August, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
At number 4, New Mexicans will see a familiar face on the sidelines next NFL season. That's LA Rams special teams coordinator John Fossil. Now, at the Super Bowl, his players put up the first and only points on the board for the Rams, scoring a field goal. But Coach Fossil got his start as the head coach at Highlands University in Las Vegas. That was back in 2003. Now, he started coaching in the NFL after that with the Baltimore Ravens.
At number 3, mild temperatures to start the week in the 50s. Looking at an isolated shower possible here in Albuquerque. Better rain and snow chances north and west. More wind and cooler temperatures middle of the week.
Number 2 now, newly released APD lapel cam video will likely be used in the case of a well-known DWI lawyer now accused of driving drunk. According to a criminal complaint, an officer at the Whole Foods on Carlisle saw David Cerna getting into his Mini Cooper. The officer says he realized Cerna was too intoxicated to drive and then called him an Uber. But when Cerna returned 10 minutes later, police made the arrest after they say he failed a field sobriety test. If you want to see more on this case, go to our website. That's always on KRQE.com.
And at number 1, pressure continues for Bernalillo County Sheriff Manny Gonzalez to get lapel cameras for his department. Citizens cite all the deputy-involved shootings as a big reason for that. We have now learned the county is being ordered to pay more than $1 million to settle one of those cases. In 2017, Deputy Joshua Mora killed Isaac Padilla and Martin Jim after a stolen car chase came to an end off of Coors. Both men were unarmed. Now, the sheriff called the shooting justified.